1. That's it. Oh my God.
I think it's gonna take a 2-hand spot for him. Might
Do
be
a
hanging
dip
from the bar.
So what you'll notice is I'll only do 1 work set here where she has 3. That's a little bit of a product of I don't need as much lat work for my physique compared to hers. Turn it around and it's coming this way. Ain't touched it yet, come on. Drive. 1, take it. Where your knees line up with this red dot.
This is one movement where I really keep the concentric like super intentional.
This is hamstring because the hips are going to be traveling further. Knees aren't going to be bending a whole lot. They're going to stay above 30 degrees. Wow! Getting as close to passing out as fucking possible. Stars, no breath. Sometimes blood out of my nose. But that feeling of satisfaction that I beat the logbook and there's nothing left in the tank. Ah. Welcome back, guys, to our training series together with me and Olivia. This time we're actually starting the first phases of contest prep. So we'll be transitioning this from our off-season series into her contest prep series. With some interesting changes today, we're actually going to be doing back and hamstrings for our session today. So she had asked from a scheduling purpose to have like consistent rest days during the week. So what we did is the frequency ended up coming in a little bit. So in order to adjust for that, we had to pull volume down, and as a result, we're going to be doing this back and hamstrings day. So really excited to take y'all through some of the logic of doing an entire posterior chain day today. And we have a cool surprise for you. We have a giveaway that we're going to be doing at the end of the video. Make sure to watch the whole video. Stay tuned for the end of the video so that you can find out how you're going to win that giveaway at the very end. New weight, form doesn't change. Good. All right, guys, so we're going to be starting with the bicycle bar pull down. We had mentioned having to adjust volume and frequency. Volume because of the increase in frequency. So what we want to do is still prioritize first in the session what we need the most. For Olivia, we've seen a lot of progress in the hamstring glute area. So the majority of our volume pulls have been from quads, hamstrings, and glutes. And we're still starting with the lat movement first off because we still need a little bit more lat development before we step on stage this year. So the first movement out the gate is going to be this bicycle bar pull down. We've done it before. Cues on locking it in, keep the elbow tucked and not swaying back and forth. You'll kind of see as we go through this what that looks like. But when you're having to pull volume down because frequency comes up, we still have to prioritize what we need first. So that's why we do a lat movement straight out the gate. All right, guys, so we've gone on a lot of lat work in past videos, and this is one that is bastardized and not done very well by a lot of people. So with a close grip pull down, the big things that you're looking for is a bar that's as close to shoulder width as possible, which is why we use this bicycle bar. And then once you set the movement pattern, not coming out of that locked position. So what that looks like is when we come down, slight arch in the upper back, elbows tucked, and this is the top position. So when we pull down, we stop here. As we come up, what you don't see us doing is leaning forward and flaring into a full stretch. It's going to take it out of your lat and put it in your teres rear delts. So once you set it and pull down for the first rep, you don't move from this position. So that reps continuously look like this, and we're not overreaching into where that teres rear delt's going to take over.
Maybe it doesn't matter. Yes, it matters. Why this way versus this way?
So put your hands on here. So when we put pressure on this bar, it's going to tilt a little bit forward. That hand's going to go a little bit further away from the elbow joint. So it's going to be less bicep flexion. Where if you turn it around and it's coming this way, as you pull, that hand's going to travel towards flexion. So more bicep involvement's going to be there. It's really negligible, but for someone who really struggles with lat development, it is important to understand. So if you use this bicycle bar, do have it facing away from you. Is that your last one? I'll pick up one more.
Yeah.
All right, let's see it, Olivia. Come on, quality reps here. There you go. Good. Good. Come on, come on, come on, you got more. Still you. Still you, come on. Come on. One, take it, take it, take it. Come on, come on. Drive. Yes. Again. Negative here. Not in your favor. Lock it in. Come on, keep it in your lap. Good. Good. Come on. Lats. Lats. Good. Good. Come on. I'm with you. Good. Come on, Olivia. Good. Come on. Let's get better today. Come on, you got it. Go. Let's get better. Still you. Still you. Still you. Ain't touched it yet. Come on. Drive. One. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Let's go. There it is. Negative. Plus a half for me, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, come on. Good set here. Ah. One. That's it. Woo. Holy shit. Oh my God.
It's gonna take a two-hand spot for
Do a dip. So what you'll notice is I'll only do one work set here where she has 3. That's a little bit of a product of I don't need as much lat work for my physique compared to hers. Lats is probably one of my better body parts. So I'll end up doing a little bit more leg volume today just because my leg volume spread out a little bit different than hers. So my lat work is much lower, but it's because my priority today is gonna be more legs than lats. So for her, it'll be more lats, for me, it'll be more legs, and there'll be a small change somewhere in the session to account for that. Fuck, I can't breathe. Come on. Yes, lock it in. New weight, form doesn't change. Good. Good, come on, lats. There you go. Come on. Still you, still you, still you, still you. Still you, come on. You ain't done. Still you. Still you, come on, drive. Fight it, come on, Olivia. Take it, you got it, take it, come on, take it. Yes, negative. Good. So, for a lot of people, the gym is like an escape, right? So they don't wanna come in and think about this stuff that we're talking about. And that's okay too. The reason we put this content out about tracking logbook, doing things like in the right way and making sure we're executing properly is due to the level that Olivia competes at and due to the level that I want to compete at and that all my clients want to compete at. So this stuff is important if you want to take your physique to the highest level possible, which is why we stress it so much. But that doesn't mean like if you're just in here to feel good that you have to do all of these little details. It's good to see like the progress, and it's motivating for a lot of people, so I still suggest it. But this is specific to making sure every day we walk in here, we're doing something to get the most out of our physique, so that the next day we come in here, we know how to be better than the last time we were in here. So this is very, very important to understand that this is very much for competing at the highest level, and that it's okay if this is not your cup of tea. Doesn't mean you can't get better. It's just taking yourself to the best you can be. This stuff is gonna be required.
I think also just making sure you don't get in the mindset that like more is better, because that's not always the case. And there's a point where you can just keep adding and adding and adding, but it's not necessarily benefiting you directly. And you could get to the point where you're, facing injuries and running yourself into the ground. And it's like, at that point, it can be really discouraging because you have to pull back, but you want to make sure that you're still progressing. So this is like the middle ground that we've found works to prevent us from going overboard, but still making sure that there is progression week to week.
Which you can speak from personal experience, because you were pretty broken when we first started together.
For sure, for sure. And when I first started training, it was all about, well, if I want bigger shoulders, then I'm just gonna train shoulders every single day. And it's like, but that wasn't effective, and it was very discouraging. And then I began to have more and more shoulder issues.
Yeah, so it's quality over quantity is essentially the thing. All right, so Life Fitness has done us a very good favor in dummy-proofing this machine. So, see this red dot right here? So you want to pick the seat setting according to where your knees line up with this red dot. This is the axis of rotation for the actual machine, and you want your knees to be rotating along the same axis as the actual machine. So if you're like not sure where to set it up, where it feels the best, put the seat back setting where your knee aligns with this, and you'll be good to go. And then the cue for this is what I think is driving patellas out into the wall in front of me to really get that hamstring short. This machine's very braced, which makes it very good for output. So small cues make a big difference. So trying to jam those patellas into the wall in front of you is a very, very big cue for getting the most out of your hamstring here. Good, come on, Olivia. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Still you, still you. Let's go, I'm with you, come on. Drive. That was you, come on, get another. Go for it, go. Yes. Good shit. Yep, that's it. Oh, good spot. Oh, shit.
So an important point with these, don't let your ego take over, as with anything else, but you see a lot of people when they're at the top trying to jerk their feet under them. And what tends to happen with that, you'll jerk your feet under you, arch your back, try to get a little bit of momentum, drive through. A lot of people slam at the bottom and just let it up. But you really need to control through all parts of this movement. This is one movement where I really keep the concentric like super intentional, almost as slow as the eccentric, because I need that control all the way through, especially with my previous hamstring issues, and to just keep the focus in my hamstrings overall. So I think it's really important, as with anything, to just keep a lot of intentionality throughout this entire movement, control it all the way through, and make sure you're focusing on your hamstrings throughout it.
Fucking nailed it. That was good. Oh, it's not worth it. Fucking A. Oh. Yeah, real quick. So you'll see when we spot, if you don't get it past like halfway, like there's no point in the spotter doing the rest of the rep for you. The goal is to keep the rep moving at the same speed. And if you can't even get it all the way to halfway, it's not worth attempting that rep, or at least getting spotted to complete that rep. So when we say failure, do it until you can do it on your own accord, which typically means the last rep will be half 3/4 U, spot will be the rest of it, and then it's done. We're doing a banded dead stop RDL. A lot there, but just walking through it. So when she came to me, she had a previous hamstring / adductor magnus injury, QL issues, which is going to have issues with pelvis to rib cage. All that to say is that the bottom of an RDL is a very unsafe position for her. So what we're doing is removing the possibility of momentum by putting a stopper there and making her dead stop every rep so that we don't get any forced rebound that could cause an injury out of the bottom. Then we're also adding a band so that it takes some load out of the bottom where she's most vulnerable. So it'll add load as you pull, take load as you come down. Now, the band thing has a lot of different setups. So this is the first step from doing it normal, doing a band like this. If you go to my Instagram page, No Switch Fitness, and you watch how I've been doing them on a deadlift platform, that's the heaviest band tension that you can set up, which is a band on each side attached to pegs on the rack. It's gonna create the most drop off in the bottom and the most add at the top. I do that because I need it to be hamstring glute, but I want some trap involved as well at the top. So, is this hamstring, is this glute? This is hamstring because the hips are gonna be traveling further. Knees aren't gonna be bending a whole lot. They're gonna stay above 30 degrees. If you turn this into a rack pull where you allow yourself to bend your knees like a deadlift, it will be more glute quad than an RDL will. So to pay attention here, this is going to be mainly hip travel back, not a lot of knee bend. There will be some for safety concerns, but this is mostly hamstring, some glute. Stay tight for the first rep, come on. That's it. Good. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. That's the bar, that's it. So I get asked a lot about what implement to use for RDLs. So there's a logic to which one you're going to use for which reason. So the hardest variation, or the distance from your hips to where the load's applied, is going to be a barbell. The step back from that is going to be a dumbbell because you can move the dumbbells at an angle, keep it a little bit closer. The step back from that is going to be a trap bar RDL. So you're holding the trap bar here. So if you struggle with RDLs or hip hinging in general, learning an RDL with a trap bar is a lot safer and is going to be easier to learn to build that mind-muscle connection before you transfer that into a dumbbell and then you transfer that into a barbell. So if it's a good movement for you, then sticking with barbell is probably your best bet for load purposes. But if you really struggle with this, you get a lot of lower back, you get it not really in your hamstrings, it just kind of goes everywhere else. Start with the trap bar, reset the form. It's going to be the easiest one to learn the pattern. Then move to dumbbells, then move to barbell. And you'll be able to connect with the movement a lot more once you work your way through those iterations. Just because I got the glasses on and say some nerdy shit doesn't mean I'm not gonna move some fucking weight. I'm gonna be ready when I face this back of the stage. You better be too. Yo! Getting as close to passing out as fucking possible. Stars, no breath, sometimes blood out of my nose. But that feeling of satisfaction that I beat the logbook and there's nothing left in the tank. Ah. I got a little angry. Quality here, come on. Come on, quality. That's it, down. Feel the difference? Back? Yeah. Last one. How bad? Try leaning forward just a hair. Good, there. Good, yep. Yeah. We are substituting movement for her. Schedule's been a little wonky, you would say? Yeah, a little bit. So she had to end up doing back work a little too close to this session than we like because of travel issues. So she's been loading her hip complex a little bit too much with the previous QL injury. We're gonna take away the single arm prime that you've seen us do already. We're gonna set up on a chest supported version so that she can get the lat work she needs, but in a little bit of a safer position. So it's good to know like what hits what, so that days that you're kind of running on fumes or schedule's been bad, we can stay safe but still achieve the goal. Come on, I'm with you, come on, I'm with you. Great reps, come on, come on, come on. Drive, still you, still you, still you, still you, come on, drive. Good, take it if you got it. Yes, yes, negative. Yeah? That was good. Move! 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 Come on. Move! Move! Oh, come on. Oh. Yep. Whoa. Come on. Come on. Come on. Drive. That's it. One of the things you'll notice on this setup is she's kind of leaning forward on her chest pad. That's so that when she pulls, her like mid-lower traps don't take over. If you keep this chest too far up and leaning back, you're putting yourself in a position to use like mid-trap for the majority of it. So you want to kind of lean forward into this chest pad so that the arm path goes down towards the hip, which that lean forward in a machine is what you want. So if you have like a chest supported machine that's similar, the positioning is probably going to be the same. The cool thing about this is it has that adjustable cam, so we can set it to load like we load the pegs on the single arm. Only reason we use this. So if you have a chest supported machine that's similar, just lean forward a little bit. Think about driving that elbow across the top of the quad. And you should get pretty heavy lat in that pattern. All right, so what y'all see is all of the back work today is very lat focused. Since that frequency came in and we had to drop some of the back volume we were doing, what we did is we dropped a lot of the upper back work because it's a pretty strong point for her. And we took this day to get all lat volume in so that the net lat volume across the sessions is pretty close to what we were doing before when they were a bit more spread out. So this again comes down to prioritizing what you need the most. Y'all see we only did 2 hamstring movements today, so it is like major compounds for them, but mostly lat work. Good reps. So big things here is you don't see her overreaching way above her head. She stays locked into that position that she's in, so she's not swaying a whole lot back and forth. It's okay to let that torso come up a smidge as you pull, but not a shit ton, and she's very consistent with where she stops and where she pulls, keeping that elbow drive going down towards the hip. Good reps. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. That's it. God, these feel so fucking. Great reps. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, come on. That's it. So the drop set's another way to add volume without having to add sets. So we added that in as like a way to get a little bit more reps and sets in without taking on the full fatigue of another set. Woo. Fuck. I don't know what's more pumped, my hamstrings or my lats. That's it, no drop. Wow. ILS over here. Root out? Yeah, that's the setting. Cool. Yeah, that's it. Good, keep it here, keep it here. Good, yes, great reps. Come on. There you go. Yeah. All right, so when you set this up, one of the big things you want to see is hips back from the upper, the torso. So you're leaning forward into the pad. We start with shoulders forward, and we want that hand to be a little bit above the shoulder joint. So your rear delt's gonna be right along here. So having that hand a little bit above the shoulder joint puts this in a better position to take the force. And notice we're not throwing it all the way back. We're trying to touch the walls, and we don't even reach all the way back to the shoulder joint with the hand. So it's not about how far you can get it back, it's how quick you can get this rear delt. And the best way to think about that is spreading rather than pulling back. So this setup's important, and that hand above shoulder is probably the most important thing here. There you go. That looks, I can see your rear delt through your fucking shirt.
I think it's really important to just be coachable. For me, you know, I've been lifting for a long time, but that doesn't mean there's not a ton of things that I need to improve upon. And the more advanced you get, the more self-aware you are, and you start to learn like what doesn't work for you, what you do connect well with and what you don't. And for me, rear delts has always been a struggle. And I just had to communicate that with him. Like, look, certain movements I don't feel well, I don't connect well, I don't get good feedback. So on this one, I told him, you know, I'm not feeling this in my rear delt super well. And he was able to look at the movement externally, like evaluate, and just adjusted the seat, and that's it. And so that's why it's helpful to have a coach, but also to be coachable and to be aware of your body and what's working and what's not. I think another note is like progress. We talk about beating the logbook, but there is progress in improving form. So like on this movement today, I dropped weight. I didn't shoot to go up because form wasn't where it needed to be, but I would still say it progressed because we shifted focus more into the target muscle. So you really need to be objective with how you evaluate progress, and try not to get in your head too much, because if you think, you know, I'm backsliding, I'm having to drop weight, but you're not seeing that you are progressing in other facets, like you're not really looking at the big picture. So I think it's really important to evaluate what progress looks like. Hey guys, so thanks so much for joining us today. You know, we'll continue to do these videos, and we love getting your feedback with your comments, with your likes. That gives us a good gauge of what you're enjoying, what you're not, what you'd like to see. So continue doing that. Right now, about 70% of the people watching aren't subscribed, and that's really good feedback for us. So if you're liking the content, please make sure you subscribe. And bonus, if you subscribe, like, comment, you are going to be entered in a giveaway. So we are giving away a $500 GASP gift card and a $500 Better Bodies gift card, say that 10 times fast, to anyone who enters by subscribing, liking, commenting. So be sure to be engaged. Let us know what you want to see next, and we'll look forward to announcing those giveaway winners.
And if you guys have any questions about the frequency and volume manipulations we discussed, just drop it in the comments. I'll go more in depth. But all it is, guys, is all of our sessions are done in 7 days instead of 9. So we have to drop volume somewhere, and this is one of the ways we did it. So I hope you enjoyed the session. Make sure you enter that giveaway, because if I was getting a free $500, I would sure be doing it. And make sure you stock up on the GASP and Better Body stuff.